Welcome viewers, you all understand through this time that I was once born, raised, and spent 38 years residing in Chicago. You know, the domestic of the Capone family, and on a nearly annual groundwork being voted as one of the pinnacle 5 most politically corrupt states in the country. The popularity was once properly deserved. The Democrats feasted in Chicago and Cook County, whilst the GOP made hay in the southern section of the state. Before we continue, please kindly take a minute to click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell for latest updates from us. But even with that pedigree, I have to admit that even I've in no way viewed a 220 web-page lawsuit with some 200 precise examples of unlawful and crook activities. Hell, even John Gotti in New York didn't have 200 particular crook acts charged to him when he went to trial. But that's precisely what New York Attorney General Letitia James simply did until now this week in her press conference. She laid out a precis of her case in top-notch element towards Trump, his nugatory children, and very different miscreants. And whilst she didn't searching for the civil demise penalty of dissolving the Trump organization, she requested for $250 million in fines and recompense and severs sanctions on Trump, his children, and the corporation in the future. Bravo to New York Ag James, due to the fact this is a textbook slam dunk case. Why? Because James doesn't want any Trump org quislings to roll over on Trader Tot. Because she has something even better. She has an archives case. The solely witnesses that James wants to name are forensic real property and accounting savants to exhibit precisely the place and how Trump manipulated the genuine price of his residences to screw federal, state, and neighborhood tax officials as nicely as insurance plan agencies and investors. Yeah, I know, there's a hassle with that. Mainly that when you existing dry, truth and statistics stuffed cases, the jury tends to give up with the criminal acronym of MAGO, my eyes glaze over. But please keep in mind that the Dodge's case in opposition to Trump crony Paul Manafort was once a files case, and the jury dropped the hammer on Manafort. If the prosecutor is creative and makes use of colorful exhibits, they can hold the jury's attention and right here I make an apology for aggravating one of my valued readers, is the MacGuffin. Take my phrase for it, this lawsuit will in no way see the inner of a New York courtroom. For one easy reason. Anytime you go to trial, you're attractive in a crapshoot. And in an excessive stakes case like this, neither facet can find the money to depart the consequence to 12 everyday slobs like you and me. On the New York side, James has a slam dunk files case. But in addition to having to stroll between raindrops to teach the jury to the mechanics of the fraud case she's presenting and the Trump family's culpability, she has to fear about the probably Trump protection of, hey, this is New York actual estate, everyone does it. I'll deal with that protection in the subsequent paragraph. On the Trump side, they can't come up with the money to go to trial. Because each and every card is stacked in opposition to them. New York Ag Tish James has the receipts, and she's going to exhibit them. And even if the protection goes with the hey. This is New York actual estate, and each person does it. Defense, James can shut that down. She can name witnesses to exhibit that whilst all and sundry would possibly inflate their property price through $50,000 $100,000. No one has ever been as insanely grasping as Trump. Nobody has ever claimed that a Fifth Avenue condo of 11,000 rectangular feet was once surely 33,000 rectangular feet and really worth $325 million. Trump's greed is going to be his undoing. But neither facet wishes to roll the cube in that type of a crapshoot. Which capacity and out-of-court docket settlement. And in these negotiations, Ag James is in the driver's seat. And due to the fact James holds all 52 playing cards in the deck, the phrases are now not going to be recommended for Trump and his fool-person children. Likely James won't get the $250 million in penalties and recompense she's asking for. But she'll in all likelihood get between $175 $190 million, adequate to motive and splendid money crunch of the Trump organization. But James has greater fish to fry, and she will. In her lawsuit, James seeks to bar Trump and his youth from serving on the board of any agency chartered in New York for at least 5 years. What is your take on this video? Drop your comments below and thanks for